Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you another live paper crafting class here on YouTube. It is Wednesday, October 14th at 11 a.m. as I'm broadcasting to you live. And I love that YouTube allows me to check out comments before the live actually begins. Today I was surprised because I had no technical glitches other than pressing the wrong button and thinking I was live for about a minute. But anyways, after I got through that, yeah, so I'm peeking over to the side here where my computer is, and it's so much fun to read you guys, your comments coming in and how you're interacting with each other, your sweet words to me, telling me where you're from, telling me how long you've been crafting. It's just so much fun, and I love seeing those names over and over again, the same names popping up, familiar names, people I know, people I've met through the internet. So thank you for joining me once again this Wednesday. I have some fun cards to share with you today using some new products. I'm going to share a few cards using the In Good Taste Designer Series paper, which is one of my favorite packs of paper, some foil paper, and then the upcoming Curvy Celebrations products, which include the Quite Curvy Stamp Set, Curvy Dies, Curvy Christmas Stamp Set, and Classic Christmas Designer Paper. These are items that you can't get yet, but you can put them on your wish list, and on November 3rd, you'll be able to get your hands on them. If you are a demonstrator, you can actually get your hands on them now. So yay for all of us who got to pre-order. These items will be available, only 2 of them will be available once January 4th hits, because they are early releases from our upcoming mini catalog. Those are the 2 that I'll be sharing right away, the Curvy Dies and the Quite Curvy Stamp Set. During the promotional time where they're being released early, you'll only be able to get them in a bundle together, but after, or I should say on January 4th and after, you can buy them separately if you only want one or the other. A bundle saves you 10% though. And then the other 2 items are exclusive just to this time. So the Christmas related ones, which I'll show you later. And those are only going to be available November 3rd through January 4th. January 4th, I think. Or January 3rd. I don't remember. Anyways, I'll look on my flyer when I show it to you. So welcome again, and yay, this is going to be so much fun. Is Trisha with me? Trisha is my moderator. And she is the person who has a little wrench symbol next to her name. It's a little tool. And she is the person who gives us all of our tools. She is going to answer questions along the way. So tag her if you have a question. Just put the @ sign before her name. And her first name is spelled Tricia. So then when you start typing in her name, it will pop up and you can click on it and tag her. Anyways, welcome to Trisha. And welcome to everybody who is new with us today. So if this is your first time being live, yell it out. Let us know that this is your first live with me. Okay, what do I want to tell you before we start? Join in the chat. If you are watching live and you can't join in the chat, it could be that you're just not logged into your YouTube account, so make sure that you do that. Or you just sit back and relax and watch. Also, after this live is over, you'll be able to see closed captioning, and you'll be able to comment in another section if you'd like to, and you can watch it as at your leisure. You can pause it and follow along and make the cards with me. All right, what else? Oh, the description of my video. So in my video description, I've been trying to do this lately, I put the supplies that I'll be using. So if along the way you're like, what is she using right now? You can either look there or you can tag Trisha and she will, she'll let you know. I see her hand waving. She's got a little emoji hand. So everyone say hi to Trisha. She's a doll. She's an angel. I am so grateful to have her there. So thank you, Trisha. Okay, let's see. I'm looking at my notes because last week I did not look at my notes very well and I missed some things. So I'll be letting you know what those are in just a second. Okay, oh, and my blog post that will have photos of the projects that I'm going to share today right now, that will go live at 12:15. So a little over an hour. You'll be able to click on the link that's in the description of my video, and you will be able to see the measurements again. You'll be able to see the product list. You'll be able to click on those products and shop my online store. You can see photos, and you'll be able to see this video in that blog post link. Also, we're going to be doing a prize drawing, which we always do. We do a live one, and then I do a prize drawing for two more winners after the live is over, shortly before my next video. So I have winners from last week to announce at the end, and I will try to remember to announce this week's live winner while we're live. My apologies for last week. I did not do that. Okay, but Trisha did. Yay for Trisha. And then, oh, and how do you get in on the prize? Someone asked me that last week. All you have to do is comment. If you share this video, you just have to comment that you shared. So leaving a comment during the live or after the live is how you can get in on the prize drawing. All right, let's go to my comments from last week. It's crazy. I was watching my replay. I think it was last night. I was following up on some of the comments, and I noticed that my little head, other way, my little head is down in the corner. So there's like two of me in this little corner here. It's kind of funny. Anyways, okay. So, all right, I'm sorry, I got distracted. It was a little ADD moment for a minute. So these are comments from 2 weeks ago, and I just wanted to share them anyways because I was going to share them. It's so much fun to see the newbies, people who are live for the first time. So Karen and Coco, welcome. Palmdale is where I used to live, Stacy. I don't know if you knew that. I lived in Palmdale, California for a short time, for 4 years. And thank you for the kind words. Let's see what else. Why did I bring these? There were reasons. I think basically just to get to acknowledge that a lot of you are from so many different places. So it was so much fun to read the comments that week and see even more locations of where you're from. And I love that Sharon put in her time. And then Vicki, you cracked me up. I think you told me this one other time in an email, but she's from a drinking village with a fishing problem. And Catherine and Sherry, you both make a ton of Christmas cards, so I'm glad that that helped you stretch your creativity with getting your cards done quickly. We did 76 cards with that kit, and then you can make up to 95 depending on how you use those last set of supplies. So check that video out. It's from 2 weeks ago if you did not see it. Allison, you made me crack up out loud. I was having problems with my bra strap. And thank you, Tina. That was so sweet. I love that your cat was listening to me. Another person commented about their cat. Who was that? Julie, her cat. So, and it's funny because I have a cat as well, and I used to have 2 other cats. They've long since passed away, but I am a cat lover. So yay for the cats. Thank you, and welcome to all the cats watching. These are comments from last week. Again, some new first-time watchers. Love it, love it, love it. Mid Stutzman, I think that's how you say your YouTube name. You were cracking me up. You're probably cracking a bunch of people up because she kept saying, and I don't mean to point you out, but if you are commenting and people are responding to you while you're commenting, you're in the live. So yay for Mid. Let's see, what else? Moorhead, I went to school up there. Hi, Leanne. And down here, oh, thank you for sharing your ideas about how you're doing your Halloween maybe a little bit different this year. I guess I was looking for how you were going to handle handing out trick-or-treats to people because I do not like to shut off my lights and leave those cute little kids without candy. But I don't want them sneezing on me and I want to keep them safe just in case anything, heaven forbid, we would have here. So I don't know, someone told me about a PVC pipe that you rig it up, but we get really cold. Like Halloween night, it is so cold that I can barely open the door to hand out the treats. So I'm trying to figure out a way that I can hand out treats. We are going to have my kids stay at home, just like I think it was no, not Cheryl, but I love these ideas. Are you reading them? They're pretty cool. Here, Tiffany, you and I were on the same wavelength. When I read your idea, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. So I'm going to have my kids in the backyard with a movie. We've got this home theater kind of thing that we purchased this summer, and we're going to set that up. They're going to sit out there in their winter gear because it might be cold, and I'm just going to buy up a bunch of candy for them, and we can have some friends over because it'll be outside, and they'll sit far enough away from each other where they're not like, you know, hugging and all that stuff. But yeah, thank you for those ideas. Oh, and Malvina, you asked, why did I have to tear my card apart? I didn't tear it apart necessarily. I just had to peel off that one layer because most of the whole card was assembled. And when I took it apart, I realized that that piece was upside down, but everything else was right side up. So the flap on the side, like I couldn't just turn the card upside down, if that makes sense. But yeah. And then where do we sign the card? I don't do a lot of signing. I mean, I don't like write long notes. So, but yes, you could put a piece of paper on the back side, or I like the other ideas that were given here. I typically just sign my name because I did all the artwork, right? So I'm one for little words, except when I'm talking. And what else? Oh, congrats to Honeybees, Stamping Hive Out Loud. Yay for you. You were the live winner last week and I forgot to announce you. And thank you for to HT12WQ because that was doctor's orders. I was having some issues last week and I promise. Oh, that's funny. My camera just went off for a minute here. I have to zoom in again. I wonder what happened there. You guys don't see what I'm talking about. All right, there we go. Now we're there. And look at, okay, super, we're set. So I am going to just click on this camera, zoom in a little bit here. Peek at my notes because Rachel, don't screw up here. We are gonna do the supplies and measurements next, but let me share with you the products. So Quite Curvy is the stamp set, and this again is debuting November 3rd for everybody. It's really pretty, isn't it? And I love the curvy look to it. They follow along these die edges if you use them. So if you die cut your paper, you can actually stamp your image so it trails along that line, that curvy line. And then there's some other images or some other dies that obviously go with the stamp images. So you can die cut this set of leaves. You can die cut each of the birds. There's a fun extra little branch in here, which I'm going to use, or I'm going to show you on my last card. And again, those are called curvy dies. And then the two other products are Curvy Christmas. So this is exclusive, only available for that short window of time. You can see how they coordinate, right? And you've got some similar looking branch pieces in there. These are stamped ones though. You can't die cut them with that actual stamp. And then the paper. And the paper, you get 48 sheets, just like most of our packs of 6x6 designer series paper. You get 4 of each of these designs. And they're actually in 3 colors. There's 3 different colors in here. So there's Sahara Sand, Cherry Cobbler, and Shaded Spruce. Yep, Shaded Spruce. So here are those 12. So again, 12 times 4, because you get 4 of everything. Gives you 48 sheets. So 3 of those designs in those 3 colors have the trees on one side that are in this image here. And then on the other side, there's just kind of this crisscross little look there. And then we've got the branches on one side of these 3 sheets. And on this side, we have stars. I love that star trail. Isn't that pretty? And then on this side, we have the polka dots, or little dots, I should say. They look like snow, actually. And then we've got kind of like, I don't know, evergreen and berries. And then here we have just kind of crisscrossy lines. And then we got zigzag lines. So some nice neutral patterns. There's the rest of the pack there. Let me put this back up here. Let's go to our measurements. Rachel, you're not forgetting a thing this time. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. All right, let me set this up. Get that off there, over here, and here we go. So these are the measurements. In fact, here, let's do this fun little thing that I did last week. I love that. It stands out more, doesn't it? So these are the supplies that you would need in order to recreate the card that I'm going to demonstrate fully, and in order to make the other 2 cards if you wish. So the supplies for the other 2 cards are listed below. They're kind of spaced apart here. And then these measurements, yes, I added metric again. Yay for me! I know. You guys over in Europe and Australia, New Zealand, you're very grateful. I know. I'm going to try to do it every time. I promise I will try. I won't promise that I'll do it, but I promise I'll try. But yes, I'll be referring to the imperial measurements during the demonstration because that's what I'm used to. But you can definitely recreate this with A4 cardstock if you wish. And so those are the measurements that you'll need for the first card, which is the one that I'm going to demonstrate fully. And then again, these are the supplies. You'll notice those 4 items are kind of standing out with the red font because those are items that you have to wait to get. But just add them to your wish list, okay? All right, let's start. Here is the other set of designer paper. This is the set that is so, it's so huge, it's so awesome. You actually get, let's see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 24. You get 24 of these sheets. I've purchased a second pack already because I'm almost through my first. You get 12 different designs, 2 of each, and they're double-sided. This is the one that's called In Good Taste, and there's lots of like background, masculine backgrounds. I want to call it that. Some of them are feminine. In fact, on my second card that I'll share with you, I consider that one more feminine because it's got pink in it, but my son wears pink, so. But anyways, these are the patterns that you get, and I have like there's wood grain in here, there's textiles, there's like floor tiles, it's really cool, you'll see. So these designs, this one here is the only one that I don't have 2 sheets of because I'm using it for the card. But you can see how pretty that is, right? And then on these 4 sheets, because I'll just show you a few at a time, these are the flip sides. So you can see like stacked brick and tiles. Fun. I'm going to put these behind me. If you'll also notice behind me, I did some rearranging, I did some cleaning. Last week I said, during the live, I said I just have to I have to move some things around. So maybe I'll take some time to give you a peek back there. So more designs. This is the one we'll use on the second card. It's kind of like a fabric, like an upholstery of furniture or something. And then we have more beautiful looks back here. If you're in the mood for house decorating, this pack of paper can give you some inspiration. All right, so, and then these are the last ones. Aren't they gorgeous? And we have already cut up that one. So let's bring in the trimmer and let's bring in our cardstocks and paper. We're just going to cut the 2 basic colors, and then the rest are already pre-cut and ready to go. So my early espresso cardstock, we're going to cut our card base, and this time we're going to do our card base in the landscape way, horizontal, hamburger, I don't know, however you want to call it. So we're going to go to the 5.5 inch mark because 5.5 is half of 11. I'll zoom in so you can see a little closer for those of you that are new to stamping or paper crafting. So there's the 5.5 inch mark. We're going to bring it right to there, and we're going to use our dark blade. The light one, I did label it a while ago. It said score on it. I would recommend taking a Sharpie marker and labeling it. All right, so there's the base of our card, and we're going to turn it this way now, and half of 8.5 is 4 1/4. So we're going to come to the 4 1/4 mark, and we're going to use the light blade now and run that along there, and that's going to give it a crease, a score. It's breaking the fibers of the cardstock, so it's going to be easier to deal with later. Cinnamon cider, we're going to cut to 5.5 also. And the 2 pieces I want from that will be 3 3/4, although this could vary. So if you don't have an exact 3 3/4 inch high piece, this will go on the inside, you can adjust that. And then the other piece I'm going to cut to 2 inches, but again, that could adjust too. I just wouldn't go any smaller than 2 inches. And then we've got the rest ready. So let's pull those in. We've got our copper foil sheets. So here is our 1.5 by 5.5 inch piece. Copper foil, it's so pretty. And it goes so well with the cinnamon cider cardstock. It's almost like this is the non-shiny version of that color. It's such a great color. And then we have our 1/2 inch strip, and we have our scraps. So at this time, let's bring in Oh, and I'm sorry, and our In Good Taste Designer Series paper. This is our 3" by 5.5" piece. So all of these pieces, by the way, are the same length this way, if that makes sense. They're all 5.5 inches. They're all going to go to the edge of the paper. I have to go back a little bit, don't I? I wonder if I tilt this. There. Okay. So they're all that length. Okay. Now I've got my scraps in here, and I'm going to bring in our new Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. And we're going to do some die cutting. We're going to die cut some little itty bitty leaves. So let's pull in those dies real quick here. I'm going to be using this one, and I'm going to be using this one. So this one here, if you look closely, it actually does kind of an embossing and a die cutting at the same time. So I'll show you when I die cut this on the scrap. I'm not going to do the whole length of it because I don't have any copper left except for just a couple pieces here. So I'll show you the result after, but it's going to look better on your paper, okay? So let's run that. I'll just shove that over here. We'll run them through at the same time. This piece we're going to set up on our card, and you can see that this is kind of a tighter coil, or a tighter curve, I should say. It curves sharper. This one's not as sharp. This one's going to be on the right side of my card front, and this is going to be on the left. And I'm going to die cut two pieces at the same time. I'm going to die cut the designer paper, and I'm going to die cut the foil paper. And they're going to go on top of each other like this, so that you can see a little bit, here I'll hold it up higher, so you can see a little bit of the edge of that designer paper at the very bottom. Then this is going to go on top like that. And then I'm going to bring in a sticky note. Let me grab one of those. So I'm just going to take a sticky note. I get mine, because I'm from Minnesota, from 3M, but I'm sure there's different brands out there. And I'm putting that over the top because I'm not using the magnetic cutting mat this time. I'm going to be also bringing in some Bounce fabric softener. Okay, these sheets, and I'm using the one that has no dyes or perfumes or whatever, just because that's the way I am. These sheets help to pull the little tiny bits out of real intricate dies. And if you look at this die, it has a bunch of little dots in it. So we don't want those dots we don't want to have to sit there and poke out all those little dots after we've die cut it. So I'm going to set it on here like this, so that that portion of the card will lay right over the top of my dryer sheet. Okay, now we've got it set up. And it's okay if we don't have this going across the whole thing on the leaves, because I just need a few of them. In fact, I've already die cut some. Okay, so that's why we're not using the magnetic plate. I'm going to talk about the magnetic plate here too, because I know some of you have been having issues, so I want to address that. Okay, so the reason is because I didn't want this residue from the dryer sheet to go on top of my magnetic plate. My magnetic plate is a little bit different surface. This is plasticky, and I can just clean it off with rubbing alcohol after, or Goo Gone, or whatever. Okay, so let's set this aside. And you can see now, as I pull this off, these little tiny, beautiful, fun little leaves. Okay, I'm going to tilt this up so you can get the lighting on them a little bit better. Maybe not. Anyways, I hope you can see that they're embossed. And then what happens to this is you get a fun little trail. So if you were to actually do that border along the trail of your card, you'd see all that fun embossing on there too. You could reinsert your leaves if you wanted to, glue them in there. But yeah, we're going to use the leaves separately. And here is that residue-ish kind of look. Can you see it's kind of hazy where I had my my dryer sheet? So I can just go back in and wash that off. Your cutting mats are going to get cut marks in them. When you use them, you want to flip back and forth, and that will help to keep them somewhat straight. But that is the problem with the magnetic platform. And a lot of you, I've just started to experience it. Hang on. Ouch. Sorry, stumbling over my feet because I'm still trying to heal. A lot of you have been experiencing some warping, and I have just a little bit going on, but I know that the more you use the magnetic plate, the more it may start to curve on you like this. So my suggestion is to store it as flat as possible, and maybe even upside down with something heavy on it to help kind of keep it straight as long as possible. This is a consumable item, just like our cutting mats. So over time, because you can't flip this back and forth to keep it straight, you can only kind of give it some bending and, you know, give it some love and attention. Over time, this will probably eventually start to curve into the point where you can't straighten it out very much anymore. And it's really important to have it straight when you use it because your dies need to be able to cling to it. And if it's not straight, if it's curved like this, it's not going to cling, okay? So just take care of it. I hope that helps. All right, we're gonna set this to the back. Now we get to play with this. This is so fun. Let me zoom in so you can see. So we'll take this off. This does not get cut because it's not underneath the die. So you can use a Post-it note or a sticky note over and over again. This piece is ready to go. Don't worry about the little marks that appear from the Post-it note impression on there. That's totally fine. You're not going to notice so much. These, look at how clean that is. There's nothing. Oh, there's one. There's one. And so we'll take the little pokey tool here and we'll just poke it out. And now it's clean for the next one. But we didn't have to do that take your pick tool pokey thing all the way through. In fact, look at that. Super clean, except for maybe one. Oh, so nice. I love these dryer sheets for that. Now watch this. This is really cool. So as we peel this up and away, all those little dots also come out of this one, except for maybe a couple, and then you can just go like that. Oh, they're already gone. It's so awesome. It's such a great little tip. We used to use these all the time in my classes. See, then all that fun confetti can go on your floor. But there is a little bit of sticky kind of feeling, like you can feel that there's dryer sheet left over on it. So as far as scrapbooking, I don't know how safe, I don't think that would be that safe to put a piece that was die cut with a dryer sheet into your scrapbook. I don't believe that that residue is scrapbook safe, okay? There we go. Let's start assembling the card. So we're going to take and put, where is it? Here it is. So I'm going to use my seal adhesive, and I'm gonna try to do it the right way. So you're gonna press. Look at you guys, look what I have handy at my desk now. It's my silicone mat. Your silicone mat, if you just pull your adhesive on it, it's going to bring that sticky part of the adhesive a little bit further forward. There it is. And then I don't have to worry about it. Or you can use your fingers. Okay, and then I'm gonna tip forward like this, and I'm gonna pull back. I just have to slow down, right? I have to slow down in my videos. I have commenters, my negative Nellies, the negative commenters for my videos always talk about how long my videos take because I'm a talker. But I'm a teacher, so I'm not going to go quicker, but I sometimes I consider those comments when I'm demonstrating, and it makes me go fast, and I just have to make sure that I'm not forgetting to share winners. All right, so next let's go ahead and fold our card base and go like that, and we're going to adhere this piece to our card front, and that's going to go 1/2 inch or about 1 centimeter from the bottom of your card, and this is going to go along the top. And it helps if you have a dark surface and you're trying to line that up, it's going to be more difficult than if you have a light surface like my light table here to line that up. So you just line up the top edge and then the sides, and you press it down like that. You don't want to have like glue adhesive going all the way to the edges here because we're going to do some tucking of our embellishment. So just have your adhesive go, you know, maybe about 1/2 inch away. All you glue happy people, right? We'll do the same with this piece. So we're going to put our adhesive down and attach it. And this time we're going to attach it so it's about 1/8 of an inch away. So we see just a hint of that copper border. On this one, we placed it on there so that we see lots more because we want to show those dots. This one will go down right here. And I die cut them together because if you do these two papers separately, you're going to first of all waste your foil paper, your designer paper, if you want them to line up. That curve is hard to line up visually because it's a curve, right? So unless you have like this edge right along the edge of your paper or something, but you need to, if you want it exact, you want to layer them on top of each other before you die cut. Okay, this piece is going to get stamped, so let's do that next. Let's bring in our beautiful leaf garland, and we'll use early espresso ink. That's the cardstock color, that's this one right here. And it's also the color that I would consider being the deepest brown in your wood grain In Good Taste designer paper. So we'll stamp that towards the top so it looks like it's trailing in. And we'll press down evenly. Oh, there's two sides. I have not stamped on one of these before. I hope that's not what's causing it. Where's my grid paper? I don't think it would be what's causing it. If we have a problem, we'll just cut more because I have more. Okay, press evenly. I don't like it. I'm cutting another one, you guys. Sorry. Sorry, just deal with me for a minute. 3 3/4 of an inch. I've never stamped on this. I just thought it would help prevent the ink from getting on my table, but it may not be a stampable surface. All right, let's just bring in some scrap paper because you know that ink is going to get on my table if I don't use scrap paper. That's better. So that's done. And this, we'll just trim off here and we'll use that scrap for something else. Okay, and then we want to stamp the inside. And so I've got the Your 1 in a Million image. This card is going to my friend Vicky. She is the one who helps me in my room when COVID is not around. Although we're going to work out something soon here if we can. Okay, so do you see this trail? This image works in the trail in one spot perfectly. So basically you just move your stamp until you find that spot and then you stamp it. See, that's why I had to have a good inside. I mean, I couldn't just say it was good enough. Right, Vicky, if you're watching? Okay, let's move this to the inside of our card now along with that strip. Oh, there it is. Okay, this strip is going to go on the inside. So we'll just run our adhesive along that. I'm being so good. I'm doing my little wrist thing, you guys. Have you been playing with your seal adhesives? That is one of the keys. If you kind of just get in the habit of, you know, press lightly, tip your wrist forward, and then kind of kick it back. That is one of the keys. All right, we did so well. And we're going to press that down onto the inside of our card. At this point too, do you notice that I have some differences in the length of my cardstock? We're going to solve that. Stampin' Up! Does not sell a long scissors. I would recommend having one in your craft room just because for instances like this, it's much easier to use a long scissors that kind of goes along It holds the side at the same time that it's cutting. The snips, I don't cut as straight when I'm cutting with my tinier scissors in that situation. Okay, we're stacking things in the wrong place, Rachel. Next and last is to bring in, oh, I mentioned this tool just in case you don't want to use the dryer sheets, because you can poke those little insides out once you've die cut an image. That helps with that. But we're going to bring back our Take Your Pick tool that is set up like this. This is an attachment that you can get for your Take Your Pick tool, the die brush attachment. So that's sold separately, and you just add it to your Take Your Pick tool. But we're going to use the gummy end now, and we're going to use our, oh, here it is. So I've got this cute little container holder that Vicki bought me, which is why I'm making this card for her. No, I'm making this card for her because she earned it. She's a demonstrator in my group, and she did some amazing stuff last month. So we are going to say yay for Vicki. Okay, to finish this card, I'm just going to put tiny little dots of glue. Do you see how tiny that is? Super tiny. 1, 2. We'll just do 2 at a time. This one's going to get a big leaf. Do you see how my tacky end of my Take Your Pick tool lifted that right up? It's pretty cool. So which one do I want to do next? We'll do this one. See, it's just grabbing onto it. I just press it down and it grabs. This one's going to get tucked under. And then we'll do another one here and another one here. And we'll tack one down, a leaf down here. You can really put these wherever. This is just where I want mine to be. Then we'll do 2 more. We'll put one here and here. And again, just a tad of glue. If you put too much, you're gonna have the glue seeping out, and then you're gonna have a forever sticky card. Don't want that. This is so much fun. And these cards are so easy. I made 10 plus my own. So let me show them to you. So this is the finished card, the first one that I made. And that's the inside of it where you can write. There's a lot of room to write on that one. Cat hair. And then these are all the other ones that I made along with Vicki's. Yay! So congrats to all of you who are demonstrators on my team that are getting these. Let's go to the next card. That little holder, by the way, is called CUJO3D, and you can just research that on Etsy and you can find one. Okay, the next card looks like this. So it's the similar layout. It's using another paper from the In Good Taste Designer Series pack. It's using the foil that is called Champagne Mist. Champagne foil. We have something else called Champagne Mist. I think it's a shimmer paint. But here are the pieces. So what I would recommend is that when you're putting this card together, you don't stick this down until you've stamped it, and you don't stick this down until you've stamped it. So we're going to stamp those pieces. Everything else I've walked you through, so you know how to do that. This is Rococo Rose cardstock. This is Whisper White. So we're going to use this as a guide as we stamp our bird on the front of our card. And this is a birthday card. Obvious it's a birthday card. You guys see that? I'm just so proud. It's a birthday card. So this is going to get stamped with this adjusted. Here, let me show you on the back side. I've got just a little bit of it showing off the edge there. Do you see that? So I moved it down somewhat so that when I stamp my bird's feet as close as possible, I can shift this up and it will cover, and it looks like the bird is standing more so on that platform, on that ridge, on that whatever. We could pretend like it's a champagne colored branch. Let's stamp these pieces. So again, my scrap paper and my stamps. So I'm using the one that looks like a beautiful collection of flowers. I'm stamping with an ink called Tuxedo Black. It's a great ink, great basic black ink. So we've stamped that down. We're going to stamp the bird standing on top of this collection of flowers, branches, whatever, so that whoever gets the card is being sung happy birthday too. So that's the Tuxedo Memento ink. And those are a couple more stamps. Both of those have dies. Both of them have dies that coordinate with the images. So if you want to stamp them separately and cut them out, you can pop them up on your page with dimensionals. So then we go to the coloring part. Let's actually just add this right now. The coloring part, I'm going to do a little differently. I have been so in love with the blends markers lately that that's all I've been using. But I have another favorite type of coloring tool that I forget to share because I've been so obsessed with the blends. And those are, and I have an old packaging of one of them. Those are the watercolor pencils. We have the first assortment and then we have the second assortment. For some reason, my link on my blog may not go directly to this. I got a warning saying it's not in the online store, but it is. It is. It's a current product. So these two items are current and they have different colors in them. You can see on the back side what colors there are. In fact, you could take a quick screenshot of that if you want, or you can go to the link on the list of products and it'll say what colors there are. So we're going to pull out from this pack Calypso Coral, Basic Black, and what one is that? Basic Gray. And then from this pack, we're going to pull out, where are you? Balmy Blue, Granny Apple Green, and Garden Green. So, and then we're going to bring in something called a blender pen. A blender pen is different from a blends marker. A blender pen kind of turns things into watercolor. So when you color with them, you can then put this over the top and it will give you, gosh, I really should have had my grid paper in here. I'm sorry, you guys. But it gives you this illusion that you've done beautiful watercoloring with like paint and stuff, and you haven't. So we're going to start with our black. I have a tippy table. I actually have like, it rolls down. Do you guys see things always rolling in this direction? So we'll start with the head of the bird. I am making a nuthatch bird, although I've been told by my mom and dad, who are bird watchers, that these beaks are a little too small to be an actual nuthatch. But I just thought the way the plumage is on top of the head, that it could be if I just make the beak longer, which I'm not going to. Birds can be any color, right? So I'm using the Smoky Slate, the Basic Black, and the Balmy Blue, which is what I did on this card. And then the other color is, which I thought was close enough to the pink that's on the paper, this is Calypso Coral. Now when I've colored these, you can see that I've just got harsh lines on there. Okay, they're not blended looking at all. But now we're going to take our blender pen and let's start with, because this one will really show it off. Let's start with this color here. We're just going to swirl from the dark part of the color out. And look what happened. That belly is now blended. We're going to run our color dry or clear and go with our next color. So I'm going to start with the black and I'm going to blend into the gray. Can you see what I'm doing? Sorry. Blend into the gray and then I'm going to blend into the blue and it's going to get more of a bluish gray look. Oh, we got to do the tail. I won't color this whole thing, but I just wanted to give you some tips on coloring. Okay, so there's how to work with watercolor pencils and blender pens. So I've got that piece all done. We can take and add that to the inside of our card, which I guess we've already done. Here's our finished one. And I added some pearls. These are our Pearl Basic Jewels, Pearl Basic Jewels, and that's the inside of the card. The third card that I want to share with you looks like this. I also used the pearls, but I took and used some extra old olive cardstock instead of extra copper like I did with the leaves, and I die cut that branch piece, cut it into two, and just kind of stuck it along here with some pearls So it kind of looks like, I don't know, mistletoe, right? I don't know, looks like it to me. And you'll notice too, all of these sentiments kind of trail along the cards. Where's my other one? Here it is. They kind of trail along the cards in different spots depending on where they fit in that curve. So all of those dies also have the same curve to them. Some cards that I've been seeing, I'm going to set it up on the computer here so you can see. I have been pinning on Pinterest. And so let me pull that up. Okay, here we go. Wrong one. I've been pinning on Pinterest. So if you don't follow me on Pinterest yet, you should, because I love Pinterest. But if you go to my boards and you have them sorted by recently added to or whatever, I've got a board that's called, where is it? Curvy Celebrations. So far I've only pinned from the blog hop that Stampin' Up! Artisan design demonstrators have created their projects with. And so if you look along here, you can see lots more inspiration for how you can do some fun stuff with that set of products. I'm going to lay these cards out so you can see them again quickly. And let's see if there was anything else I wanted to mention about them. Oh, this one here. Go back to my table. There we go. Okay, so this one here, you'll notice that I brought this piece up just a little bit, so 1/8 of an inch of the inside cardstock color was showing, because I wanted more old olive on the front since I was adding an old olive branch. On this one, I've already got plenty of that espresso color on the front because of the designer paper. And on this one, I just kind of wanted a surprise of dark pink on the inside, the Rococo Rose. So there we have all 3 cards. And what else did I want to mention? Let me check really quick. I think that's it. Okay, so this is the little flyer that goes along with it. And I don't know, maybe I can show, no, I can show it to you on my blog too. Okay, so, because it might not be that clear, but you can see that it's a 2-page flyer, and it shows, shows things upside down. It shows the products, it shows the prices, and I will show you how to find that if you are visiting my website. So if you go to stampyourartout.com and you click on the blog portion of that, you scroll to the bottom of any of my posts, you will see promotions and news and that sort of thing. Here's the Curvy Celebrations one. So you can click on this and it will bring up a new window with that flyer. You can print it off and you can go ahead and keep that as a reminder for November 3rd. The other thing I wanted to mention on here is the Designer Series paper sale is still going on. In Good Taste is part of that sale. You can get it at 15% off, and it's one of our most expensive packs because it's a double pack, but it's also a good deal for a double pack as is. So if you miss the sale, you're still getting a really good deal on that designer paper. So you can click here to shop, click here for more information. You'll want to check out that sale going on. And since we're here, let me just show you. Some of you get lost in how to order on the online store. So I'm going to scroll up and show you where you can find a couple buttons if you're visiting my blog. So again, this is my blog, stampyourartout.com. You can go here to shop, and there's a couple different ways you can. When you're on my blog page, there's a little menu button here that you can click, that you can hover over, and it says shop, and you can click on my online store. That way you can get out of my blog and you can go to the online store. Another way is you can scroll down just a little bit and there's that shop online button. Or if you haven't gone over to the blog portion of my website yet, you'll see that shop online button on the front page at stampyourartout.com. When you go here, this is where I've had a couple people get lost. It's a new setup. It's recently changed, and it's set up because mobile devices, which is what most people shop from nowadays, believe it or not, they can see it in full form. They don't have to do that little, pinch it and make it come out and all that. So it's a more mobile friendly type of website, but it's a little bit daunting for somebody who's used to a desktop or a laptop. What you want to do is you want to go to the menu, and if you're not seeing the menu up here, it could be that you're instead seeing 3 lines just click on those lines and it'll open up the menu. But see how I hovered over shop products and it brought up all of those choices? So then you just, hover over any of that stuff and you can go visit sections. Once you're there, you can scroll down, or you can get even more specific. Instead of just paper and packaging, maybe I want cardstock, maybe I want envelopes. Oh gosh, so now I'm going to narrow it down and I can go to just the envelopes. You can also go to sales and specials. You can go to what's new. Okay, so that's, I wanted to show that to you. And gosh, I think I went over a bunch of stuff already. So we're going to go to the prizes now. Let's go to my table. I'm going to move these. Trisha, I promise I won't forget. In fact, I'm going to move my tab open so I can see the comments rolling in. I do love the blender pens. Somebody was saying something about them. I just caught that comment, and Trisha said they do give you more control. They're definitely more control than a paintbrush. Okay, so last week we had a live winner. Congratulations to our honeybees. I can't remember the whole name, your whole name. I'm sorry, I forgot it. Honeybees something, and then she messaged me, she emailed me and told me her actual name. I'm so sorry, Honeybee. I'm gonna call you Honeybee today. But she won a half pack of those iridescent pearls and some of these fun bags that you could put some Halloween treats in. A lot of these bags are used in the Magic of This Night Suite display in the online store or the catalog, so you can get some ideas from how to use them with that suite. So I've already drawn 2 winners to receive those last 2 prizes. And then while we are still on my desktop here, I'm going to pull all these goodies out. So some of these are retired, some of these are not. These are the selection of prizes, and it's a pick 2 this week. So if you're watching and you're commenting, you can get in on the prize drawing for this pick 2 prize. What do we have? You get to pick 2 of any of this. The Copper Designers Star Elements. We've got some beautiful iridescent, what is this called again? Snowflake Splendor Ribbon. Snowflake Splendor Ribbon. Those are both current. This is retired, but it's one of my favorites, and I just stocked up on this stuff. Glittery enamel dots. Hello, green. That's so pretty. The 2020 through 21 in color enamel dots. That's a current product. This is a current product. The rhinestones. You gotta love rhinestones. This is a retired product. The Snowfall Accents Puff Paint. So when you squeeze it on and you use the heat tool, you can get this puffy, fluffy white stuff. So you could make Oreo cookie cards. Wait, Oreo cookies don't have, yeah, you could have if you do it right, so it's not oozing out. Otherwise you have like a s'more card, right? And then we have this fun punch. This is current. And we also have the metallic brads. I miss brads. I wish we had brads. This is retired. So it's a pick 2. Let's first show the winners that we had from last week. Let me pull those names up and we'll bring you over there. I pulled you over there way too quickly, sorry. But you see the names? Yay, yay, there, now you can see if I'm talking. For those of you who are reading lips, sorry about that. So Karen and Patty, congratulations, you 2 won the iridescent pearls and the mosaic printed bags, the cellophane bags. And you just need to email me. There it is, stampyourout@comcast.net to claim your prizes. Linda Jones, I'm going to be removing your name soon. You were a winner that was announced 9/30, September 30th. And I still have a note card pack and envelopes, note cards and envelopes and a sheet of dimensionals waiting for you. So reach out to me, you 3. And then we'll go back to the computer, and I'm going to peek here to see who Trisha has announced. Today's winner is Karen Bongartz. Yay, Karen, congrats to you. I see your name all the time. So congratulations. You let me know what 2 items you want. Don't put them in the chat, because I sometimes don't get to the chat till like days later. Email me at that email address, okay? Next week. Next week, okay, so I went to the doctor yesterday and I had my second follow-up appointment. We did more x-rays. It's not rebroken. The toe is not rebroken. Yay. But because, and he didn't tell me this the first time, he said it was actually broken a couple places. So I did some damage to that bone. So he said, it's just taking more time to heal. He said, you're older. He actually didn't say that, but I knew that's what he meant. I'm 52, so my bones are taking a little bit longer. We're going on 7 weeks since the accident of stubbing my toe on my new couch leg. Yeah, so I'm still hobbling around a little bit, but he says it's not rebroken. He says there's swelling, but you just need to take it easy a little bit more. And that's not what I'm doing. So I'm going to follow doctor's orders, and I'm going to take a week off of doing the video, and I'm sad about that because I love this sharing. It's so much fun. That means, though, that those of you that want in on that prize of the pick 2, you have 2 weeks to comment if you're not watching, or if you're watching live, you can still comment, but you want to comment afterwards to get in on that prize drawing. And yeah, so I'm going to rest, and I'm going to say no to a bunch of other stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna miss you guys. So October 28th, a couple days before Halloween. It won't be Halloween related because that will be too late to do any Halloween creations anyways. So I will have something new for you, and I haven't decided what yet. I've had some recommendations. I love it when people email me or message me ideas of things that they want me to show. So please do that. I can always incorporate some of the ideas that I've got in my head and maybe blend things together to show a fold or a technique or something. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining me. And I can't wait to read your comments later. I think I covered it all. I'm looking through my notes here in front of me. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the, oh, I was gonna show you my room behind me. So you see that little person there? That's subscribe. You wanna click that. Or when the video's done, there's a subscribe button too underneath my video. But also, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you for those of you that always like chat that. Give her the thumbs up. Please do that. I would love it if you would do that, and I'd love it if you subscribe to my blog. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, my blog, follow me on Pinterest, all those things. Thank you. All right, let's look at the room back here. So you can see a messiness on my desk right here. It's actually not too bad, but I'm gonna zoom in a bit, see if I can do it here. I have these organizers in the back there. You can see like my paper, these shelves here, and you can see these, and you can see these. They've not really stood out much, but I can't angle my, did you see that? Bra strap issue. I can't really angle my camera with good lighting so that you can see all that fun stuff, but Stamp & Storage is awesome. So I decided to move my old Stamp & Storage, my older pads out of the way and put my newer ones there. I love that holder. That's an awesome holder. And my markers are down, and I put newer things up on my shelves. I have my lights on so you can see how fun that is. And I got my mug that Stacy made me back there. So I wanted to show that off because I did some cleaning. I'm so proud of myself. And I'm way too big. They're gonna zoom out. There we go. All right, thank you everyone. It is an hour into the video. I am going to let you go. I will see you in 2 weeks on October 28th. Thank you everyone.